I die before I wait, give it everything you got, cause that's what it's gonna take, and don't wait. Do it now, they say time is of the essence. From a kid to a king, you are now in the presence of a new creature, adapted new features. Remember when I was a student, now I'm brighter than my teachers. Don't worry if I spit, cause if I do it, be that ether. I got stripes just like a zebra, up a level I might lead ya, at a place too high to see ya. I'ma heat up in the winter, they gon' look at me like Scar, but I'm really more like Simba. Always been the realest, I can't hang around pretenders talking like I ain't gang, but I know a couple members ain't tripping about the beat, focused on the bigger picture, dreams in the headlock, like you thought I wouldn't get you, grinding like I never ate, can't make no pivotal mistake. Do we wanna be good or great? Steady now, pick up the pace, 1, 2, 1, 2, okay now we moving weight, power of the jungle, crush time, we gon' release the 8, and I'm still gon' keep my faith, God with me so I'm straight, I'm the fire in the lake, I put the devil in this place, I don't think it's no debate, it's my time to make a shake, I done did away with fear, that no longer welcome here, I just had to make it clear you wasn't deaf and you can hear, opponent win it won't be easy, game colder than the freezy, early stages of my grind and I was young, they ain't believe me, so in my older days, all this ballin' got them queasy,
We are live looking at my man, Frank Gore.
Frankie G.
All-time leading rusher in 49ers franchise history and third all-time in the NFL with 16,000 career rushing yards. He just signed a one-day contract to sign with the 49ers so he can retire as a 49er. There's the man himself, the original beast mode, as I like to say. Beating people up, signed with a few different teams after his tenure with San Fran, but he's going back to the Bay, and we are live. What's up, gang?
What up, what up, what up?
You know the drill. It's Monday, National
Monday,
Championship Monday.
Let's go, Tar Heels!
Game
Hey,
on.
shout out to the homie Frankie G, though.
Dude, for real. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Frank Gore.
Excuse me.
Like I said, one of the most consistent. I could maybe never really. I guess he was always a top 5 back in his era, but somewhere in the shadows. because other people was in the forefront. But like
Yeah, he wasn't, you
Frank
know.
Gore was always, like I said, right there. Always rely on him.
Yeah. And here's the
Be down
tweet.
back, catch.
Third all-time, 16,000
Hell of
yards.
a career.
But yeah, you're right. He wasn't ever at the forefront of he wasn't ever the face of the league, you know.
Because it was like LT. I'm trying to think who was his era. LT.
Yep.
Adrian Peterson.
Sean Alexander, Marshall Falk
Faulk.
would have been.
Yeah,
Yep.
Sean Alexander. I think the beast modes. I think when the new era came in, Le'Veon.
Yep.
Like he was always never, but he always was in the mix of the top. So
That's right. Consistency, you said it, man. And especially at
Consistency,
running back,
yeah.
the shelf life of a running back is 3 to 5 years nowadays.
he was
And,
special.
and he lasted for 16 years, so.
Yeah. Shout out Frank Gore, man.
Yep.
From Know You.
He's the dude.
My boy Adrian Peterson trying to retire in Viking too.
Nice.
He's currently signed with. I can't think who he signed with, but
He was with, he was with the Titans for
Titans, yeah.
2 games a game.
no, but he's still
He
in the
moved
wherever he
on.
went after that. He still signed with him.
Baltimore?
Seattle, right?
Hey, somewhere out there.
Yeah, but
Over the
All right,
rainbow.
well,
he ain't able to sign with the Vikings. He had to retire Viking. And I like him to play one more year just to motivate the team on some ceremonial stuff.
I like it. All right, let's dive into it. 7:25. We got a little over an hour left.
How you want to start this?
Touch in things. Thad. We'll start it with Thad Matta.
Yeah, Coach.
Buckeye News. Yep, former Ohio State head coach Thad Matta. He was the head basketball coach for 13 years. We got his signed autograph right over here.
Oh yeah.
You can see it right there. Thad Matta.
What team is that?
I don't know. You're from here.
All right, man, I'm a Tar
That's the
Heel
Evan
fan.
Turner team.
That's Evan Turner team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right there in the front.
What, 3?
23?
All right.
Possibly.
So anyway, Thad Matta, former Ohio
It was
State
21. I don't think that's
head
it.
basketball coach. He was. He just got hired. There's a vacancy at Butler University, or the University of Butler, whatever. So he's their new head coach. And current Buckeyes head coach Chris Holtman is the former head coach at Butler. So we had guys kind of swapping roles. So I'm assuming once next season gets going, there'll be a lot of comparison of who's doing it better. Since both dudes have coached at both universities, we'll see a lot of comparison between the two. But hey, that's okay.
Man, both of them, man. I didn't really like Thad as a Buckeye coach.
Yeah,
He was
all right.
alright.
And that's one of
We
those
didn't-
was, didn't have
We
the
never
success
had
that.
the D'Angelo Russell year. We kind of had some hype, but we ain't really do too much.
No, but so that's the latest news around here. The only other thing I would have in the college realm would be Baker Mayfield had his Heisman statue unveiled at Oklahoma over the weekend. They had their spring game. I couldn't find any pictures of the statue online, so I don't know if they've even made the thing yet.
It's
But
a Heisman statue.
it's a Heisman statue, yeah. So who cares about that? But
Why does Baker got a Heisman statue? So is they gonna give one to Kyler?
Good question.
to be determined.
What did Baker do to deserve that?
Won a Heisman.
Like, talking about, wait a minute.
Dump the flag on Ohio State's
Dude,
field that year,
I mean, but they didn't. They lost in the playoffs.
You win the Heisman, you get a statue.
Kyler's
You ain't gonna
coming.
have a statue in Cleveland, that's for sure.
He should. That's where he should have a statue. They forget that they ain't made the playoffs or won a playoff game in 23 some odd years. But they ain't won since Belichick.
I was gonna say one playoff win gets you a statue. That bar is pretty low for an NFL team.
In Cleveland.
Shout out Brownies out there.
In Cleveland, yeah. They forget.
All right, so that's the other one there.
They have Brandon Whedon,
Oh
That list
man,
is so long, man. Don't even go down that list.
Jason
Dude.
Campbell. Actually, Jason Campbell had a solid
dude,
year.
I saw a picture of the 2012 NFL draft. Yikes! There's like 5 dudes left. Anyway, we'll have to get into that another time.
Who was in 2012?
Andrew Luck was number 1. He goes
That
Andrew
was
Luck,
2012?
Andrew
Oh,
Luck,
that was
RG3, and then
Cam Newton was 2011. Yeah. Oh yeah.
something like that. So anyway, so Thad Matta there to
That's only 2
Butler.
years ago.
Dude, yep. 10 year. That's why I think it popped up. It's 10-year anniversary draft coming up. Moving on to more exciting news.
That's crazy. And
Our girl, Aaliyah Boston, in the South Carolina Gamecocks.
smoked him.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd say smoked them, but there she is. She is
They won like
the.
14 or something?
They haven't announced the Wooden Award yet, but she is your AP Women's College Basketball Player of the Year. So that was actually the first time that had happened because Paige Beckers was last year's Wooden Award winner. And this year, so that's the first time that the two Player of the Year have faced off in a national championship. So shout out to the Carolina Gamecocks. Couple notes from that. They beat the University of Connecticut 64-49. That is Gino Auriemma's first loss in a national championship game. He was 11-0 going into last night. Don Staley shut him up, took him down. And the tail of the tape was free throws and rebounds. South Carolina out-rebounded UConn 49-24.
That's what it always comes down
With
to.
the beatdown and free throws, South Carolina was 17 for 26 from the stripe. Connecticut, 1 for 4.
Wow.
Big disparity. Big disparity in free throws there.
A lot of jump shots, no foul.
And South Carolina was pounding the ball inside. They dominated the paint. UConn's guards struggled. It's that defense from South Carolina. I don't know if anybody out there watched it. I know my guy Casey and his girlfriend Nicole were watching it. Nicole went to UConn, so I know she's a little sad. I don't know if you're out there in the chat, but anyway, it was a good game, man. I had a good time. I enjoyed watching the women's Final Four and the tournament. Buckeyes in the Elite Eight, all that, or the Sweet 16, excuse me. So yeah, exciting. Good for that. Don Staley is the first African-American D1 basketball coach to win multiple national championships.
Interesting.
So,
Yeah, those girls they played, and it was definitely a big difference of size. And like you said, Aaliyah Boston was down in the paint. She had 11.16 boards, and homie Destiny Henderson, she definitely balled out, dropping 26 on them. But that game started off rocky, and, you know, if you watch UConn, you definitely expect for them to come out and, you know, battle and score a lot of points. But them putting up 8 points in just the first quarter, and South Carolina dropping 22 early, I think that came out, hit them in the stomach real quick. You know, that right hook to the stomach knocked the wind out of them. But UConn kept fighting back. But it's kind of ironic that Gino goes out and Coach K went out the same exact way with a loss on their last game of a historic, you know, coaching career. So big shout out to those South Carolina Gamecocks and congratulations. But hey, somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. But like Ryan said, definitely was entertained by those girls, women, watching those games this season. So,
dude, yeah, that's and, you know, you and I got a couple chances to call some, you know, high school women's basketball, Pick Central, IMG, Montverde, Florida, Cincinnati, Purcell, Marion. So it's an opportunity, you know, to call these girls in high school and see them advance to the next level is a pretty cool thing on our end. And like I said, man, excellent quality, you know, an excellent game. It did not lack for excitement, that's for sure.
Neither team could hit the three ball for real.
Yeah, they didn't shoot real well from around the perimeter. The other big thing was that South Carolina's defense held Krista Williams and Ozzie Fudd of UConn to 5 points. They usually combine for about 25, so they got shut down.
I think it was Fudd didn't get her first point until like the fourth quarter of that game.
A couple minutes left.
It was
when
only
it
a little bit of time left.
Basically over. And the other note I had.
They almost had as many offensive rebounds as the UConn had total rebounds. It was just off 3.
It was a big, huge size differential in the paint. Like I said, Boston, her body, I think she's like 6'5", definitely can see the difference. It wasn't nothing that those girls can do. They definitely came in focused. You know, Staley had those girls, keep calling them girls, but women, those grown women. Right. They were focused. You can see the determination from the jump of the ball. And they came out on, I think, like an 11-0 run.
Yeah, that's how they started it.
Yep. Not messing around. Shout out to the Lady Gamecocks of South Carolina. And hopefully them boys in North Carolina can get the dub tonight. We know how we don't know how that's going to go. Because Kansas, they're going to be a problem. They got that big man. I can't think of his name right now.
It's going to be a problem. We'll close the show with that so we can do predictions and things. But I like it.
We should be off air during first.
Well, we're going to be way gone. I got to be home at 9:20. That's kind of like, dude, 9:20, right? That's the other thing. Like West Coast, man, they got to pump it back that late so you can get home from work.
Yeah.
And in California traffic, you ain't getting home from work in 20 minutes. But
Yeah, no, you're not.
so anyway, the other big news. Let me get back here. South Carolina. I don't have the tweet, but Tiger Woods. It's Masters Week for all my golfers out there. Tiger Woods is a game time decision. That's the big news. Because, when Tiger's on the course, it's a whole nother ball game. It's basically like a whole nother tournament. People are tuned into Tiger, and then there's the rest of the field. It's the Tiger effect, ratings, views, all that. So we're waiting to see. Practice rounds are today, tomorrow. He said he's a game time decision, so we'll wait and see what the big cat has in store. But it's amazing that he's even back on the course. Phil Mickelson's not playing. He's in some hot water.
I got a real quick question before you continue.
Fire away.
I've never heard of golf. I know it's a game, but game time decision. It just doesn't sound right.
Yep.
Game time decision for golfers, but
Hey, when it's the goal.
And this is kind
I
of
just never heard of that. At any point during golf ever have I heard game time decision. You hear it in any other sport, but for golf, I just never heard it. I just found that ironic hearing that.
Yeah, it is a unique scenario. This usually doesn't happen. They're talking about, some extenuating circumstances. If he needs a cart, how he's feeling. They don't allow carts at the Masters, yada, yada. So, be a good week. All the hype. It's a good week to tune into golf if you're into it. Masters starts this Thursday. Tee times are at like 7:20, 9:20. All day long. So, if you want some updates, holler at me. We'll keep you going. The favorites. John Rahm is the odds-on favorite. The next close would probably be Justin Thomas, Cam Smith's right in there. Oh, new world number one, Scotty Scheffler, DJ, Morikawa, Brooks. Kind of right in there. And then some of your lower, Daniel Berger, Hideki, Bryson, Xander, Cantlay. It'll be good. Always fun. Weekend at the Masters. What else do I got? All right. 7:30. Probably the other big news would be the NFL, maybe. There's a big trade between
The Patriots and the Dolphins for Devontae Parker.
Ooh. We'll get to that in a sec. How about we talk about the Eagles and the Saints real fast?
A lot of draft picks moving around.
All right. So, what this says, basically, Eagles are sending 2 of their first-round draft picks, 16 and 19, over to the Saints. Saints are taking those 2 picks, 16 and 19, and then some second and third-rounders. Basically, the takeaway is that the Saints are acquiring some draft capital, getting 2 spots in the first round. What are they going to do with those 2 spots? They're going to try and help out Jameis in what way?
Get him some extra pass protection and some extra weapons. And still, what are they going to do with Michael Thomas?
That's the big question.
That's the real question. He was once the highest paid receiver in the league. He ain't played in basically
Not at all
2
last
years.
season.
Or
Yep.
the season before. I don't remember. I think he got hurt Breeze last season, too. If I'm not wrong.
It would have been towards the end of the
'Cause I don't think
previous
he played
season.
in the playoffs.
I
Yeah.
believe he's in some trouble as soon as he comes back too. I think he has some kind of suspension that he's going to be under for maybe substance abuse or something like that. Or I believe he's in some type of trouble when he's suspended once he
They done
returns to the
officially-
field.
They done officially moved Taysom Hill to the tight end position.
They did?
Yeah.
So he goes from one of the starting quarterbacks to now playing tight end.
He only started last year because Jameis got hurt.
But yeah, he still started though.
And actually, he split with Trevor Siemian. But yeah, he should have never been quarterback. We all know that. He not even Tebow. Like he's
Just a Swiss Army knife.
a big bowling ball out there.
But those draft picks, I mean, they may come in handy. I think you definitely try to acquire a receiver. And seeing how that's one of your weakest points in New Orleans. But
I need a receiver.
I don't know.
They need to free up cap space. They done lost their coach. It's a lot going on in New Orleans.
Was
speaking
Michael
of-
Jenkins
speaking
still on
of
that
Saints
team,
and
too?
The Eagles, Frank Gore retired, and also our former Buckeye, Malcolm Jenkins retired.
Malcolm Jenkins,
over the
yeah.
weekend.
There you go. Yep.
Won a Super Bowl for both teams. The Saints did cheat in us to get to that Super Bowl, but that's another story. But Bounty Gate, read about it.
He probably made some paper off of Bounty Gate then. he's a dog back
Nah,
then.
it was a lot of the DNs. Like if you watch,
You don't know
if
the
watch
details. You
highlights
don't
of-
know the details. And the point is, Malcolm
He's on
Jenkins
record. Grant
Jenkins
Williams is on record.
put the hurt on some pools.
Yeah, he's
He's a
definitely an all-time great.
He was
I
a
don't-
dog.
They said
Always
is
like
is he a Hall of Famer? That's debatable, but I don't know. Two-time champion.
I'm gonna say I don't know the
It's not-
stats and
he
the
never
details.
really won a
but
Defensive Player of the Year. I mean, I ain't never really remember him being one of the top.
Hard hitting
Always.
safeties.
I just know he was like just a quarterback of your defense.
Yeah.
He was
Yep.
consistent. But I don't know.
if back, I couldn't name too many safeties in the NFL, but I could always name Malcolm Jenkins. You know what I mean? He's on the radar. He's a beast. The other one, Devontae Parker.
Oh yeah.
Pretty good. I've always liked Devontae Parker. I mean, catches.
Can't stay healthy. He be hurt.
Well, go to New England where they make the most out of hurt, injured, ragtag.
Rivalry trade though. That's
Whatever.
that usually doesn't happen. They traded him to the rival.
No, I mean, well, the Finns ain't worried about that with Tyreek now. Get
Yeah.
Parker out of there and move along.
And they're going to be competing with the Patriots for second because that's still the Bills' conference.
Nino likes to think that the Cowboys are going to trade up to get Olave. I don't know where the Cowboys' pick is at.
I was just looking at the draft. Hold on.
Okay. So there, there's a little bit of the NFL. Saints shake up the first round. 2 first-round picks. Got to be some linemen in there. I mean, Alvin Kamara is the dude still.
No, he's not. He's about to be he's facing 5 years. I don't know what's going on.
Man, you're going
He
to
ain't
walk
got-
on that, man.
He's
When was the
still
last
the dude.
time you seen somebody besides Henry Ruggs really get some time and Mike Vick?
Dude.
Burris got time for shooting himself.
That's self-inflicted.
So is this, right?
He beat somebody to damn near death, dude. That's what happened with Kamara. I mean, he's facing up to 5 years. We don't know what's going to happen. Possible
Alvin
suspension.
Walk, man.
But that's going to be a possible suspension, making the league look bad, all types of crap. Let me see. The Cowboys is drafting
Yeah.
at.
I don't know about that, but
Cowboys got the 24th pick. I think Olave is projected to go somewhere between 20 and 25. 20 and 26. How far would they have to trade up to get Olave, though?
Olave
Olave
at
is
least
going like 10.
10 to 15 range.
and who
Because
knows
Garrett
at that
Wilson
point.
should go off the board before him, which is kind of surprising. I've been seeing Wilson going as high as like 5.
Let me see.
Well, who knows? So what else do I got? That Frank Gore. It pretty much covers all the NFL I got.
He's projected for a top 20 pick. That's all it says. That's all it says. He's a top 20 pick. But
All right.
But Sosa, even if they do trade up and get Olave, I mean that
fix the
offense,
back
that's
that doesn't fix the back problem, the running back. I love Zeke, but Zeke is no longer, he's just Ezekiel.
Zeke got that bread, and he really ain't been the same since. And you don't even see because they had Tony Pollard, him back and forth for a little while. But I think Zeke after this season, maybe he should come back and actually be able to play football again. Because averaging like 3.1 per carry is not what you think when you think of Zeke, but
Not at all.
I think he had 2 to 3 games over 100 yards. So and he wasn't injured the whole
Last year?
this past year. He didn't have too many games where he was injured and sitting out.
He had like 3 games over 70 yards is all. Dude, for real, it was rough. So, who cares? We can watch the Cowboys wallow away.
I mean,
I don't mind seeing them miss the
because of
playoffs.
their division, they're always going to be relevant. Well, they're the Cowboys number 1, so they're always going to be relevant. But they're going to be a top 4 seed, somewhere around 3 or 4. because they're gonna most likely win the NFC East. Like you could almost stamp that. You could pencil it in right now. At the end, like halfway through the season, you might be able to get your marker out to make it permanent. But depending on what the Commanders' defense bounce back like, and
That's
what,
respect right there. You're getting used to that name, ain't you? The Commanders.
I mean, it ain't that bad, but it's just they said I did see one of the shows they just changed the name to the people who killed the but
Wow.
they went
Wow.
from yeah,
Victim to oppressor.
yeah,
Wow, that's
that's
deep.
all they did. But the Commanders, I mean, that's really the only other challenge. The Giants ain't about to make no noise. I mean,
Philly,
So
man.
Philly, yeah, you don't give no love to
oh
Philly?
yeah, well, Philly did make the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean,
Forgot they were in the division.
but are they gonna be battling for second too? I like Philly's. I mean, I like the Commanders' defense more so than anything.
Right.
But they didn't show up last year.
And then you don't know what kind of Carson Wentz you're gonna get. I mean, with him and McLaurin, you don't know. They may be able to team up and be a dynamic duo. They not that bad. They just not really that good either. So,
But that division sucks. So I mean, the Cowboys
and that's what gives you a kind of an asterisk. You can make something
Yeah,
out
right.
of nothing.
Everybody else is this bad. Let's get on it.
Could potentially be 8-10 and still make the playoffs.
No, they're not gonna be 8-10.
It's not gonna be that bad, but it's
That's
just
too many games anyway.
All right. Any other
8
NFL?
7-10.
hey, talk about that overtime rule that just switched up.
yeah,
They
there you go.
finally granted the overtime rule to be changed from just one team getting the offense. If you score a touchdown, you still get another chance if you're the defense of team to actually go back and score. So the Bills cried enough. Or was it the Bills, the Chiefs?
It was both teams.
Both teams cried
it
enough.
wasn't the Chiefs this year.
There were
don't
the
like-
owner or the GM vote. There were only 3 teams that didn't vote to pass it.
One of them was my Vikings.
It was the Vikings, the
I know why,
Broncos, I think.
I know why it was my Vikings too. Because we're a
Because
team
it
who
don't
won-
matter.
What? the real team.
He snuck that in pretty smooth, boy.
Hey,
We're gonna have to rewind the tape to hear what he said.
The Vikings is a team who won an overtime playoff game on the first drive, so that's why we were it's like if you get the stop, you get the stop. But we beat the Saints on Kyle Rudolph back in the end zone. Kirk Cousins threw the game with a touchdown in the end zone. I just got to put that on.
For the
camera.
one and only
Forget.
time ever.
I mean, yeah, because we ain't been to the playoffs since. Our defense sucks thanks to Zimmer.
So, what do you think about the OT rule? Yay or nay? Leave it the same or
think
change
it's-
it?
See, I hate being like straddling the fence because I see why. Like,
So
yeah, to
this
give
one-
everybody opportunity, but I just feel like if you get the stop, I mean, like, because we got the rule because the Bills complained, and the Bills should have just played better defense. Y'all should have never went to overtime. You only have 13 seconds.
Well,
and
then
didn't
what-
get the
you know.
stop. So
And I don't know if it's exactly because it ain't the Bills complaining. It came as a result of that game, but the Chiefs, the exact same thing happened to them the next week. So I can't see. I wish they would have kept it the same as mine. Just one possession, like
It's sudden death.
it's sudden death.
You either make the stop or you
The
don't.
defense has a possession just like the offense does. And granted, the rules are set up to benefit the offense in the NFL. It's easier on the offense. But that's the point of competition. That's the point of life. When there's rules stacked against you, you go out there and you got to do
Yeah.
your damn thing anyway.
I mean, it's adversity. It's three
Right.
phases of football. You kick it off. That's special teams. The offense is on the field. The defense is on the field. Somebody's going to make a stop. You get 4 stops. I mean, we all know the rules of football, but for them to kind of side with the less fortunate, I don't really feel this rule. It's a couple cats in the chat right now saying that it's a great rule, but
Good to be changed in that, and we'll see. They can give each offense a possession. That's what the NFL wants: is more, more points, more scoring, more of that. We'll see if the games drag on.
what if you
but
still get shut out? I mean, at least you can say, at least you got the ball.
tied 0-0 going
Yeah.
into overtime? Right.
We've had ties here recently.
I mean, but a football game can't end in a tie, so that means
Not
not a playoff game. No, this is strictly for playoffs. So, I mean, at the end, both teams score. You're just gonna keep scoring. So they score, then they score.
Yeah.
They score, then them score. Right? Then they get the ball again. What's the rule?
And now, right, sudden death.
Is it because both teams got the ball, both teams scored, Now it's just whoever scores first, or is it is it on some college stuff? And now, each team get a possession each time, and then until the defense get the stop.
See, and they can't go that far in the NFL, just like the college does. But on the other side of it, the defense can score points also. So, I mean, if you keep it sudden death and it's offense versus defense, granted it's unlikely. So, I'm with Mike Tomlin, if you're sudden death, that's how we do it. But that's just me. Casey's right. He threw out there that, Brady's last year in New England, the AFC Championship game in Arrowhead went to overtime. Pats got the ball, scored and won the game.
Yeah. And that's when the Chiefs complained.
Right.
Originally. So what was that, 2017?
2018, whatever. I can't do math. Ooh, all right. Here's the 69% of all money line bets are on North Carolina tonight at plus 158. I like it. Sweet.
Let's go. You already know, man. Big Tar Heel Nation. I can't wait.
All right. Let's knock out.
They training to be Goku, man. They training to be Goku.
All right, let's knock out NBA for about 15 minutes, and we'll dive in to our March Madness.
Man, my boys is on tonight. I'm trying to go get the popcorn, get the extracurricular, so I could get extracurricularly, you feel me?
Got to tune in.
Yeah, definitely be locked in.
The old
we gonna need some elevation.
drop in, tune out. Drop in, tune in, drop out. Anyway, NBA playoffs start April 16th. Let's get into. All right, basically, the East is set. The 10 teams in the East are set. Nobody can either move in or out.
Right.
But in the West, the Lakers are the only team that can potentially move into the playoff or not.
Between New Orleans, San Antonio, and the Lake Show.
And real quick, here is how play-in tournament works.
Yeah.
So, I got them right here. Your 7 and 8 seeds in the East are currently Cleveland at 7, Atlanta Hawks at 8, your Charlotte Hornets are at 9, and your Brooklyn Nets are at 10. That's the East.
Where Brooklyn at 10.
And in the West
Kevin
side.
Durant, they got my dude bent because he been gone literally 65 to 70% of the season.
He has missed much. West side, real quick. Minnesota at 7. Los Angeles Clippers at 8. Number 9, New Orleans Pelicans. And number 10, San Antonio Spurs. Lakers, 2 games back at seed 11. So like Will just said,
got the second hardest schedule remaining.
Yep, Lakers go at Phoenix tonight, at Golden State. They got OKC at home, and then they finish the season with at Denver. And they just lost to Denver yesterday.
Is it the Golden State and Thunder game switch? Or is it Phoenix
Golden State, Thunder, Nuggets. So, fingers crossed, LeBron's going to miss the playoffs again.
Wow.
He said fingers crossed.
Man.
You got to cross your fingers for that, fam. What's happened? What's understood ain't got to be explained.
Wow.
It's same energy. That's what I was told, man. Thunderstorm warning, same energy. My team ain't old.
This is why he's not the GOAT. Period.
Wow.
That's not why he's not.
That's debatable for me, man.
That's not why he's not the GOAT. That's not why he's not the GOAT. But
do you think he's the GOAT?
I hope not.
Man, it goes into a whole different type of category. I don't want to say he's like the greatest of all time because you got different kind of players that are the greatest in each kind of generation in the 2000s and 90s. You know how that
we'll leave it at that.
If you look at LeBron, if you look at LeBron, he's a phenom. He's one of no other.
One of one.
Yeah, nobody else is going to come in and do what he does. He doesn't have that killer instinct that Kobe and Jordan has. It's the only knock that I give LeBron. But I think it's better for them almost not to make. Wow, these guys, show them my guy.
I think it's better.
LeBron, I got your back, dog. But I think it's better for them not to make it. If y'all watch the game yesterday and you watch, Anthony Davis, how every time he falls, it takes him at least about 10 seconds to get up. And by the time he gets up, the play on the other side of the court is already over. So you're playing 4 against 5. for most of the possession and waiting for Anthony Davis to get up. I mean, Dame Lillard got set down. There's a host of other NBA players that got set down. I think that's the best for, his health is to go ahead and sit down instead of re-aggravating whatever injury he has that night. So,
All right. Fair enough.
That's mine.
Injuries.
And we don't need
suck.
And we don't need GOAT talk. I threw that in there. I get tired of hearing all that.
Yeah, man.
Anyway,
No.
I will be excited
We
to
all
see
know the GOAT, 2,
LeBron
3,
miss the players.
Right.
Right.
Shy. We all know that.
Everybody knows that.
The
play-in-
alum from the team that's going to win tonight. Yeah, man. We all know.
Let's see. Regular season ends April 10th, Sunday. The play-in tournament. The graphic that I just showed will be the Tuesday the 12th through the 14th. So there you go. You'll have mid next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. You'll have NBA playoff action, which will be the play-in tournament, and then the playoffs will get started Sunday the 16th, Saturday the 16th.
So do your GOAT get in?
So, all right.
Do your GOAT get in?
Nah, because if you
We
look
don't
at
need it. We
if
got
you
it.
look at the schedule they got coming up, they got Phoenix coming up. I mean, Ryan already went over Golden State,
We got to lay it down.
the OKC.
Yeah, right here. Bam.
It's just too much for them to overcome and not enough
Agreed.
firepower on that team.
Jared Level!
It'd be a big thing
All
for-
of these teams need to go to sleep. It's night, sleep, Betty Boy, all that good stuff. We already know, man. Orlando Magic, Pistons, youth, they young.
All right,
Houston, OKC, youth, young. That's why they're laying it down.
All right,
Just
Jared.
young and bad.
I got the question how to lay it down.
Yes, sir.
Who would the number one pick benefit the most? Which team would benefit most from having the first overall pick next season?
Well, the Lakers don't get their pick, so they don't count. Their pick will go to Pelicans. If it's a top 10 pick, it goes to the Pelicans because of the AD trade. So you could put the Pelicans right there, which they should have been laying it down, but somehow they ended up praying. That's when you pray. Sometimes God answer your prayers. But they did benefit.
Who's the best? So who's the
man,
best? Who's the best team in? Who's the best of the trash?
Man,
Quick, on
I'll
the
go
spot.
New York and Indiana, man. One of
Nah,
those
no,
two
no.
teams.
New York is trying to figure out how to get Zion so they could redo Cam, RJ, and Zion.
Quick, on your feet.
You're right, man. The best team ideally would be the Blazers, but now the King. I like the Kings in this category, man. I like the Kings. They got Sabonis, De'Aaron Fox.
There you go.
It's a fire sale in
Take it a bit.
Indiana, man.
Yeah,
I think I was
always.
for sure you was gonna go with that one.
They already sold it. They sold it. Well, still Miles Turner is still gonna be for sale this offseason. I don't like saying that because that makes it sound like they selling
Free
people.
bad, free
But
bad the deal. All right.
Bradley Beal is for he gonna be up for grabs. I already seen that he's gonna be willing to go to Miami. I mean, could a number one pick help the Magic? The Magic got a nice young team. It could help the Rockets got a nice young team, and Cade Cunningham possibly Rookie of the Year.
Okay. There you
But
go.
he's not gonna get it. He came on too late.
But
It's gonna be between Scotty and Evan.
but he'll be a stud for next year.
I
So.
don't know, man. The number one, all them teams whack, and most of them teams gonna be laying it down next year. I mean, well, the Lakers don't count, and then they're gonna be in a different. They're gonna revamp their team, but not much that they could do.
So you think
The
maybe
Knicks-
the Kings?
The Knicks, I mean, I would like to see could they pair. I would like to see who could they pair with. My man Cade Cunningham in Detroit. I would like to see who they compare with my man Jalen Green in Houston, and I would like to see who they compare with my man Jalen Suggs in Orlando. That's what I would really like to see more so than because of those three teams are still pretty much gonna be laying it down because they're not gonna get any much better.
All right. Anyway.
What OKC could do with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. You still got Damian Lillard. What they're gonna do with Dame? But
All right. On to the next one.
It's a tough one.
Let's get into playoff talk.
Same.
Still have hope. Still have a little bit of hope. Obviously, the Nets there at 10.
San Antonio Spurs.
The Nets are going to be the best bad seed ever. Charlotte Hornets, I like them. They're exciting in the playoffs.
In a one-game a winning in situation, yeah, all these teams is dangerous. So like,
We saw what the Hawks did last year.
Even if the Nets, well, I would like the Nets in this category. Well, that's just the East. It's two other East teams in here. It's 3 East teams, 3 West teams. So I think this is all the playing teams. Matter of fact.
Yep.
It's just about.
Mine is Cleveland, but
Oh, yeah,
it's gonna be a
I got
big
Cleveland
game.
and don't sleep.
That's on Friday. The Nets and Cleveland play in Brooklyn. So we get to see kind of a precursor, a foreshadowing of what's going to happen during that game. But that's going to play huge because if they win, you know, they can still move up against not Golden State, but the Hornets. So,
But they got to have a better record than the Hornets because the Hornets own the tiebreaker. I don't think the Nets, what KD said, KD just had his best game, 55 points, and they lost. But what he said that the team ain't being disciplined with the defense and they're fouling a lot early. If you look just like the championship game last night, free throws, the free throw differential. I think the Nets only put up 17, and then the Hawks put up about 41, made 30 something of them. Like Kyrie shot more attempts than KD did last night or the other night. And he shot no free throws. He did drop 32, but he took like a lot of shots to get there. While KD, meanwhile, was having his best game ever. Could have went for possibly 65 plus with how high he was. Kyrie gonna have to them two gonna have to figure that out. I love Kyrie to death, but man, don't be taking away that shine from that 7-foot monster. You gotta understand that.
So real quick,
and the Clippers is here because the Clippers is
they
the
about to
only
wake
team,
back up.
Yeah, Paul George just came back and he looks phenomenal. Shout out my Bulls. DeMar DeRozan did just put a 50 on them to beat them. But besides, because I thought it was blowing the Bulls out that whole game for the most part. But, hey, Matt Ryan about to leave. You about to go back to Indianapolis? But, now the Clippers, when Kawhi come back, like, now they made some nice moves. Covington been on fire. He just made, I think, 10 or 12 threes. They just broke the record in the Clippers history for the most threes. And he just dropped, I want to say, what did he drop 50? Like 51, I think.
So, I mean, we talking play-in game right now. And
I play the Clippers if I'm anybody.
But you take the Clippers, and if the season ends today, Minnesota play the Clippers, and you take in that game Minnesota or the Clippers? We don't know if Kawhi is there.
There's no Kawhi. With what Cat has been doing lately, I would like to see Cat get that done.
All right, so that'll move Minnesota to stay at the 7.
Remain 7.
And then they'll play the winner of New Orleans and San Antonio.
Yep.
To potentially play the
Clippers is making the Clippers
Grizzlies.
Be the AFC. Mir, what's good, Brody? But Clippers is gonna be the AFC
to play the number 1 seed in Phoenix. So can they defeat Phoenix?
A healthy Clippers team, yeah. But that's only if Kawhi. I don't think they could beat them without.
But how
Kawhi.
close is Kawhi to coming back?
Man, he's closer to being there than not.
I don't know, man.
That gets tough right there.
I gotta check my stat guy.
And even if Brooklyn and the Hornets right now, they're at 9 and 10. Like I said, Brooklyn plays Cleveland this coming up Friday. So Atlanta against Cleveland. Does Brooklyn beat either one of these 3 teams? Atlanta, Cleveland, or Charlotte to get into the playoffs?
Say that one more time.
Brooklyn has to defeat either of the Hornets in the first round of the play-in game. If they win that game, then they have to play either Atlanta or Cleveland. Can they win any of those games?
Yeah, Brooklyn should move
they,
right along.
They should be. I mean, they definitely should be able to win both of those games to make that 8th seed because they're not going to play the 7th seed to try to get that opportunity. So they're going to be playing for the 8th seed. And Miami, look out.
Miami, look out. That's where you at. So you do see.
So that answers your question. Brooklyn's going to win to get in.
Yeah.
Right.
So you do see in either the East or the West, is it a potential that the number 1 seed can get knocked off either in Phoenix against the Clippers, or
it's more likely that the Heat will get knocked off than
By
the Suns
Brooklyn.
by far, just because the Suns being the defending Western Conference champions, and then they actually look like they're on a mission this year. I can't just say that I would take the Suns in that series, but I'm just saying if the Clippers are at whole, the Clippers aren't. That's literally not your regular 8th seed if they're at whole, because they wouldn't be in that situation if they had Kawhi and Paul George all year. They would be somewhere flirting around 2 to 6 not in a play-in situation. They took the Suns 6 games last year without Kawhi, with Paul George leading the way. Could they possibly push for another game 6 or 7? Yeah, they're talented enough to do that. But with the mission that the Suns is on, if the Suns blew that series, that'd just be on a Chris Paul collapse type thing.
All right. So, it's pretty clear who's at the top and who's at the bottom. There's that little asterisk by the Brooklyn Nets, because if it would have been a regular Brooklyn team all season, they'd be number 1, number 2 seed.
It's different
So
story.
there's that danger. So I've got both. Don't sleep and grind time up here.
Right.
This is a lot of your 3 to 6 seeds.
Yeah, right now Minnesota and Cleveland are both the 7th seed.
So
3 to 7 actually.
So out of these, I'm looking at, Western Conference. Obviously, I like my Nuggets. They've got a tough road ahead of them going through these playoffs.
Right.
The Utah Jazz were right in the mix last year, making the Western Conference Finals. Obviously, you got Golden State in there.
Cavs,
So Phoenix is running the West. Who do you like out of those 3? Nuggets, Jazz, Golden State.
Nuggets, Jazz, Golden State, no Memphis. Huh?
I'm going to go middle seeds. Grizz right now are the number 2 seed.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
That's kind of I'm looking in those middle rounds of who's kind of your sneaky peak. Obviously, the East Coast, we're going to talk about
Right now,
Boston
it'd
and the role they've been on.
It'd be Golden State versus Utah.
Yep.
I like Golden State in that matchup.
And see, I
Rudy
like.
Gobert is useless in the playoffs. This is not the 80s.
And how about the Mavs? Luka.
A lot of people love Luka.
They haven't been able to, translate that into the playoffs. You see that happening this year?
I'm just happy for the first time that they won't face Kawhi. I mean, Luka's got mad. Luka's numbers is massive. I get that, and he's averaging some Jordan-esque type numbers in those 14 games. Because I think that the Clippers took Clippers 7 in the both, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
So
And in that matchup against Denver, you're not going to have Murray, or you're not going to have Carter Williams.
So it's going to be evenly matched. It's Team Luka
It's
versus
still
Team Joker.
it's a really good Nuggets team, but over the course of 7, they can beat anybody any given night.
Yeah.
But over the course of a 7-game series, it's tough missing Murray, MPJ, those kinds of things.
So right now it'd be hold on.
I think in that
Jokic.
whole entire section right there.
4-5 Luka and Jokic, right?
Yep.
Yeah, but in that whole
So,
section right there, the
do they
teams you
offset?
just named, no matter who makes it out, they may make it past the first round, but then the second round they out. I don't believe in any of these teams to make it past the second round of the playoffs.
All right.
Some people think that the Mavs can make it to the finals.
Yeah,
See,
That
that's
aren't even
Nah,
Mavs
not even
fans.
close.
That's why I like that middle chunk of you just don't know who's get to that second round and get bounced.
I don't think you can
But-
cheat your way in the beginning of the season. Meaning he came in like Luka. He came into the season out of shape, not prepared, not ready, and then worked his way into shape. I just don't. I don't think that's the best way to end your season and to start in the playoffs. What he say?
We got a wrap up sign. So
All right.
we're gonna kill it on the NBA. Sorry, gang. Ran a little
But
bit
to
late.
your point though, Luka and Jokic, I do like that matchup, and I think that their numbers pretty much can offset. They both is going to put up 30 something, 14 something, and 10 something. So it's just what the others are going to be able to do. Aaron Gordon versus Finney Smith. Do you like Brunson and Dinwiddie over Morris and who's that other backcourt player? I can't remember. But it just depends. But we'll see. Tune in next time on Dragon Ball Z. And then, of course, we like that.
All right. We good? We got 10. All right. So we got about 10 minutes left in here. Sorry, gang. We got going a little late. So, Jer, final thoughts on the NBA before we get into Target's predictions.
Right now, it's just looking like two teams is like that. A lot of these teams is grinding it out. I moved my Bulls down to don't sleep. Philly, don't sleep on Chicago, because if you do, they're gonna be up in there. Stuff like that. Miami, don't sleep on Brooklyn when y'all face them. Stuff like that. And Memphis, a lot of people love Memphis. And we like that. Pull up, we like that real quick. And then we go to my Tar Heels. Of course, the Valley, like I said, a healthy Clippers team can definitely knock off that hot Suns team.
Yep.
But without that, I don't know.
Is this your
they on a mission
Is this your prediction? Rematch?
for the finals?
Yeah.
No, because I don't got Milwaukee coming out the East.
All right.
I got to stick to my guns.
Dude,
but
that's
when we
fair
get there,
enough.
when we going to get there. But I could see it happening because Giannis is on a
Dude.
mission too.
Right.
But
Baddest man on the
Giannis
planet.
is, but Luka made him look like a fool yesterday. But Luka made. Hey,
In one game. That's why they play 7-game series. My other note is that Boston is on a record level tear. Out of their last 35 games or something, they've won, I think, 30.
yeah, they're the hottest team.
They've been
on
mad
this
since
side of the
Christmas.
New Year.
All
Yeah.
of 2022. Boston with Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They got a ton of talent. So it's just something to keep your eye on.
think
They're
they
the number
still
two. They're
small.
number 2 seed right now, I
I
think, in
still
the
don't
East.
like the
Move their way up.
guards.
But
I really don't like the Derek White, Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart's tough, and he can hit big shots. He can also miss big shots, but I don't really like their guards, and I don't like their bigs. It's a lot on Tatum and Brown, and in the 7-game series, I mean, if they get Cleveland in the first round, then yeah, they'd be able to beat them. But Cavs just happy to be there, if they can make it there, because they're in playing territory now, so that's not looking good. And since Jared Allen went down, it's not looking good for Cleveland.
All right.
all right. You got it. You heard the man right there, the NBA aficionado of That's Debatable, our resident specialist. All right. We are about 1 hour and 10 minutes from tip-off. Men's National Championships. Your North Carolina Tar Heels.
Yeah.
Go Heels, baby. Boo Jayhawks. Everybody knows. Well, if you don't know now, you know. I cannot stand the Kansas Jayhawks. I did attend Kansas State University, 70 miles west of Lawrence, Kansas. So down with the Jayhawks. The quick notes I have. These are all-time winningest programs for Division I men's basketball. KU is number 2. Tar Heels are number 3 with 2,300 and some odd wins. Tar Heels have 6 national championships, their most recent in 2017.
Should have been back-to-back champs.
Should have been
Nova
back-to-back. Got
spoiled it in
busted by Chris
That's why
Jenkins.
I wanted Nova, but I did pick Kansas.
So,
But I wanted Nova because I wanted that rematch
I gotcha.
just to beat them.
I gotcha.
Because we definitely would have smoked Nova, and now it's a monster.
Dude,
we gotta
Kansas-
slay another beast. We've been slaying dragons this whole tournament.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah.
I know we a blue blood and all this other crap, like, but we are the true Cinderella story. And with the clock striking midnight
number.
tonight, I don't think so, because we really got some hitters over there. And that boy Kevin Love is
Caleb Love.
Caleb Love is not no joke. Big shot taker and a big shot maker.
Dude, that one he
gonna
hit.
Put them on ice. They might go skating tonight. Remy Martin, you gonna be feeling like you off that Remy, or he gonna do you like Remy did Nikki. But we ain't talking about that.
Dude, I wish I would have got that clip of Caleb Love hitting that 3 at the end, because that's one of the biggest shots in Carolina history. Dirty from like 6 feet
Second-
back with
probably the
some
second
dude
biggest shot ever.
6'6" in the face of him.
It's probably the
Bang.
second biggest shot ever, because we all know that shot that Michael Jordan hit in 1983, something like that.
It's down here.
It is.
82. Well, 82 seasons would
Oh,
have
yeah, 'cause
been
that's-
in
that-
April
it
of
was
would have
to
been
win
in
the
April of
championship.
83 or whatever. Anyway,
Yeah, 'cause
you
it was-
mentioned it too in our text messages. Guard play, man. Guard play.
Wins
Caleb
you-
Love,
wins you the tournament.
it can win you a
Best
game
guards
for
win the
sure. Caleb Love can come out and blow them up for 35,
But it's not
but it
only
ain't
Love.
gonna happen.
RJ Davis is a problem as well. It's not
Right.
the only thing that I don't like about the offense of the Carolina Tar Heels is the North Carolina Tar Heels is that Caleb Love and RJ Davis do a lot of your turn, my turn.
Yeah.
They don't play through each
Together.
other that offense. It's on the offense. They just when it's your turn to run the offense, it's your turn to run the offense. When it's your turn to run the offense, your turn to run the offense.
Let's go, Cavs. Get out of here.
It's not the somebody running off a screen, off a Baycott or
Gotcha.
a Manic screen or something like that. It's just they either running that same play to get Manic open on them corner threes
Yep.
or on the wing.
They are-
Baycock is in the paint.
They
running
are a
the
little
paint.
bit more limited in some of that aspect than KU. KU's kind of got free game. Definitely got the dominance down low.
And that's
with
where I was
McCormick.
gonna go
No
with it.
chase. So yeah, you give me a little bit of your
Baycott hurt
preview.
himself.
What you think?
Baycott
That's
did.
right there,
Baycott
man.
did injure himself, but I like my guys.
I mean,
I'm rolling-
McCormick
I'm
down in
Yep.
the paint,
Will
man.
thoughts.
And Baycott, with him being injured, we seen how KU was feeding McCormick constantly down in the paint. And with him being a dominant center, a true center, it's going to be tough for, if you can't get that second chance opportunity, that's where it's going to lie at. If you're missing your outside shots, can you get the rebound? If Love and RJ Davis aren't hitting those shots that they got them there, do you have a center, or, can Manic, can he get you a rebound? But I think you definitely have to rely on
Brady Manic's going to have a big game.
Yeah. So I think KU does have a slight advantage, but I think the athleticism for North Carolina is going to prevail for them. So nice. I know you going for North Carolina. I think I'm going to ride with them too.
Predictions, scores?
Hey, honestly, I don't know if I predicted. No, I did predict the score last week.
Nah.
My score prediction for the Duke game was actually 81-79.
Nice.
Carolina, and I was only 2 points off.
You got a prediction for this game?
Hey, I got Carolina 73 to 67.
All right. Will.
I'm going to go a little bit higher than him. I'm going to go 85 to about 79.
You taking Tar Heels?
Yeah.
85 over KU 79. I'm rooting for the Tar Heels. My prediction, Carolina 76, KU 70. You heard it here, Tar Heels around.
Oh, hey, hold up.
And that's it, gang. Yeah, flash them up.
North Carolina.
Petey Pablo.
You want to raise up? Hey, definitely, man. We got to. We got to, man.
All right.
Gotta have that energy. Hopefully,
Tar Heels up, Jayhawks down.
Talk about my championship. What to say?
Thanks for tuning into a speed round, gang. We out of here. Paper toss. Final
Make
thoughts.
sure you follow me right
2005,
here.
2009, 2017. I got to see my teams win the championship. I would love for my Vikings and Bulls to be
fantasy.
in that category.
Yeah, man.
I've seen the Buckeyes win, but they don't
follow
win
me
enough
right
for me.
here, man. Will Ward 288 on all social media platforms, and we have been dropping. That's debatable on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe, like, and continue to comment. We appreciate everybody for watching tonight.
All right. Peace out, fam. Go Heels.
Out of here.
I ain't got nothing to throw. Let's go Heels. Bing bong.
Bong.
Shooting them Jayhawks tonight. We got